Alright guys, so I'm back on the crossbow. There's two parts I've been dreading, and one is the firing mechanism. I think it's fairly simple, but here's my problem. So most of the firing mechanisms I've seen are fairly simple. You've got a more or less round shaped. I wish I had something round. I could trace here that's about the right size, but I don't really have anything. So you've got a round shape, and then you've got a shape like this, and then you've got the same shape, more or less, another vertical surface here. So this probably looks more like this. Hopefully you can see that. So your string catches here, your trigger catches here, so that this is pulling this way, this is being blocked. Your trigger comes back this way, so that would be backwards from the normal push-up. So yeah, more or less. But anyways, that allows that to spin forward. You could even go forward, I guess, as long as it rotates. No, you gotta go backwards. Anyways, and that lets it come up. So that's fairly simple. I guess I saw another design where your trigger plate looked like this. And then this was your trigger body. So that when you pulled this, it dropped back and allowed that to come that way. So I think that's sort of the shape I want to go for the trigger body. But the problem is, this piece at the top has got to catch both sides of the string on each side of your arrow shaft. Right? Sort of like that. So, my question is, what size arrow shaft do I want to use? This is 3/8 wood. So if I want to make wooden shafts, that feels about right. I don't know. It's a little handheld thing. I might go 1/8 inch and shoot steel darts out of it, just because of the problem. So because of that being wide. So here's the problem. This is like 1/8 inch plate. Maybe. Yeah, about 1/8 inch. Or I have this, which is 1/4 inch. So either way, even if I go this, that doesn't leave much. I'd have to cut the shape out twice and weld it together. I almost said glue it together. That would be silly. Which that wouldn't be bad. Two of this together would be a 1/2 inch, an 1/8 inch out the middle. That wouldn't be bad. Or I cut two pieces out, and then I cut the shape out, and then for the cross brace, I just weld in another piece and make it together like that. If that makes sense. So I've got both plates, and then I weld across, and that's where the trigger guard hits. Then I have to make my trigger guard wide enough that it catches the whole gap and stays center. I can't really decide what I want to do. I really want a piece of plate or something that's like 1/2 inch thick already, or 3/4 of an inch thick would be even better. But then I need enough mass I can cut my circular shape out of, so I don't really have that. I'm struggling to come up with what to do. I might keep hunting around a little. I could take a railroad spike and smash it flat and use that. That wouldn't be bad. That might work. That might definitely work, but that's the day for this weekend, not for tonight. But I really want to get this thing finished, so that's my dilemma. Then my next problem is, how do I attach the... I'm going to use this piece of metal, which is, again, fairly small, probably 1/8 inch, but it's very thin, so it's very flexible. That's going to be my bow, and then cut notches in that and mount it. And then how do I mount that? That's the trick after that. So that's where I'm struggling. And I'm on a timeline, so I'm going to keep thinking about it and keep putting it off until I have an idea I like. How silly. I always think everything has to be metal to metal. Why don't we start with wood and see what happens? Perfect. That's kind of what I had in mind. Make sure this is a somewhat reasonable piece. Roundish. Let's cut it down to 1 inch. Let's use our fancy little tool here. Boom. Alright. Kind of sort of 2 trial pieces. We'll try it on the small one first and try the mechanic out first. So, man, that looks like, it don't look very straight. It's very flat. Let's flatten it up. So, what I think this looks like, let's draw a line straight down, and then I want to come down about that far. Smells right. And repeat that far. Now, so if we're talking, so I want my string to catch here, so I should just zip that off, and then my trigger will catch here. Okay, so I think that's what we want to do. I think we just want to zip that off, both of those straight lines, and give that a try. Back to the saw. That's what that sort of looks like. I'm going to clean this up a little. Why do I never have tools out that I need? Let's grab a drill. When I say drill, I mean impact, because that's all I use. Okay. Let's drill an 1/8 inch hole through the middle for a pilot. That'll be our pivot point. I've already forgotten how wide this thing is. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing down here. So this is a 1/2 inch wide. So let's be risky and be bold. And I don't know that this is really the way I want to do this, but let's go ahead and, if only I had vices around here. Okay, does really matter. Okay, so I want to take this and try to battery's dead. Okay. That's sort of the smell I want. All right, let's clean this up. Okay. Except I need to, well, it should be okay depending on where this sits. This needs to sit just like so. I might have to take this out further so that the arrow can sit flush in there a little better. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and try, since I'm thinking that's what I need to do. I don't know if this little carbide bit's not made for that, or what the deal is, but I don't like the way it's slipping. The ones I know that work are a little too big. This one's a little too... That was done. Okay, I think that's more the look I want to go for. I'll take a little piece of sandpaper, get in there and clean that up, but that is the look. So string will catch there. This is going to be for, that was a 3/16 drill bit I used, so 3/16 bolt, and then trigger will catch here. Really, I want it to just catch here so that it can rotate down this way and let this roll. I'm excited. I think this might just work, at least for a prototype. Then maybe we'll make it out of metal. Okay, so we finished up this part.